And it was when all the kings that were on this side of the Jordan, in the hill country and in the valley, and all of the shore of the great sea opposite Lebanon, the Hittite, the Amorite, the Canaanite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, the Jebusite, heard of this, that they gathered together to war with Joshua and with Israel with a single accord. The inhabitants of Gibeon heard what Joshua had done to Jericho and to Ai. They also acted with wile. They went and disguised as ambassadors, and they took worn sacks for their donkeys, and wine bottles wrought, split, tied together. Worn patched shoes on their feet, and worn garments upon them, and all the bread of their provisions was dry and moldy. They went to Joshua to the camp at Gilgal, said to him and to the men of Israel, "We have come from a distant land, and now make a covenant with us." Each of the men of Israel said to the Hivites, "Perhaps you dwell in my midst, and how can I make a covenant with you?" They said to Joshua, "We are your servants." And Joshua said to them, "Who are you, and from where do you come?" They said to him, "From a very distant land have your servants come, because of the name of the Lord your God, for we have heard of his fame and all that he did in Egypt, and all that he did to the 2 kings of the Amorites that were on the other side of the Jordan, to Sihon king of Heshbon, and to Og king of Bashan, who was in Ashtaroth. And our elders and all the inhabitants of our country spoke to us, saying, Take provision in your hand for the journey, and go toward them, and say to them, We are your servants, and now make a covenant with us. This our bread we took hot for our provision out of our houses on the day we set out to go to you, but now behold, it is dry, has become moldy. These wineskins which we filled were new, and behold, they are split, and these our garments and our shoes are worn because of the very long journey. The men took of their provision and did not ask counsel of the mouth of the Lord. Joshua made peace with them and made a covenant with them to let them live, and the princes of the congregation swore to them. And it was at the end of 3 days after they had made a covenant with them that they heard that they were their neighbors, and that they dwelled among them. Children of Israel journeyed and came to their cities on the 3rd day, and their cities were Gibeon and Shepherah and Beeroth and Kiriath Jearim. Children of Israel did not smite them, because the princes of the congregation had sworn to them by the Lord, the God of Israel, and all the congregation complained against the princes. All the princes said to all the congregation, We have sworn to them by the Lord, the God of Israel. Now, therefore, we may not touch them. This we will do to them, and let them live, and there will be no wrath upon us, because of the oath which we swore to them. The princes said to them, Let them live. So they became hewers of wood and drawers of water to all the congregation, as the princes had spoken to them. Joshua called for them, and he spoke to them, saying, Why have you deceived us, saying, We are very far from you, when you dwell among us? And now you are cursed, and there shall never fail to be slaves from you, and hewers of wood and drawers of water for the house of my God. They answered Joshua and said, Because it was certainly told to you, servants, how the Lord your God commanded his servant Moses to give you all the land, and to destroy all the inhabitants of the land from before you. And we are very afraid for our lives because of you, and have done this thing. And now behold, we are in your hand, and as it seems good and right to you to do to us, do. And he said to them, and he delivered them from the hand of the children of Israel, and they did not slay them. And Joshua made them that day hewers of wood and drawers of water for the congregation, for the altar of the Lord to this day, in the place which he would choose.